Howdy, JP here. Um, Today we're going to have a brief discussion of the rifle that's in front of me. Some of the components I have out here, the data generated by Applied Ballistics Solver by Brian Litz, and also the data generated by QuickLoad. So let's get started here. First things first, this rifle has already been safety checked. There's no rounds in the breech, bolt is out, and there's no magazine in there. Okay, so if you guys have watched any one of my videos before, you will recognize this chassis. This is the KDEX Defense chassis that I had my 223 VLS 700 in it, and so I decided that I wanted to build a 6.5 by 47 rifle out of a Remington 700. So I went out there with the intention to get the cheapest Remington 700 in the 308 case family that I could find. And unfortunately for me, when I was looking for it, this was the only guy available. I wasn't willing to wait till supplies get stock in, or I wasn't willing to order anything online. So I went with this. The price wasn't bad. This is your usual 700 Remington 700. This is a tactical version. It's got a 1 in 10 twist, and it comes with the muzzle threaded. So anyways, I dropped it into the chassis. I said if I'm going to use it, if I'm going to have it, might as well use it before I tear it apart. And I took it out to the range. I took this ammo with me. This is Federal Ammunition 308, 180 grain soft point. And I hooked up the magneto speed chronograph, and I was very impressed by the velocities I was getting and by how accurate this rifle actually is. You know, it's very precise. So what was I getting? Well, with this ammo that I just showed you here, 180 grain, I was getting 2,440 feet per second out of the muzzle, which to my surprise was kind of high for how short this barrel is. So what I did then, I decided to see what it could do at extended ranges. So I picked the magical number that the internet seems to love, 1,000 yards. I did a bit of research on components, and this is what I ended up with. So I picked this guy here just because a lot of guys that are using heavy bullets in 308 seem to have pretty good, very good results with this. This and Varget, they're both great. I have both. I will also do some low development using Varget, just because where I live, it's kind of hard to get one powder sometimes. So it's kind of good. It's kind of a good practice to have loads developed for different powders. I have here rifle large primers, the usual 210s. And for cases, I'll be using Lapua. This is just regular Lapua 308 cases. And for bullets, I settle on the 190 grain bullets. I know it's kind of a high, very high grain, very heavy bullet, and I'm going to be sacrificing a little bit of velocity. I'm already sacrificing a lot of velocity because the road's so short, and then I choose a very heavy bullet. So that's kind of counterintuitive, right? However, this bullet have a very high ballistic coefficient, 290 G7, 566 G1. So that should compensate for the loss of velocity. And so what I did then, after picking out all my components, I and knowing what I, empirical data that I got using the 190 grain bullets, I went out and I plugged in all this data into my solver. So using prediction data for the components that I have over here, I already have their round made over here. with an input of 23 feet per second. I think that's what I put in there. I know it's the input here, it's on the very low end of 23, but as we can see, if I want to go ahead and shoot 1,000 yards with this thing here, it is doable. So if I come to 1,000 here, and I slide across, right here, it is still supersonic. Matter of fact, it is still supersonic out to maybe 1,000 yards and 20, so 1020. I'm still getting a velocity of 1,117 feet per second. And again, this is prediction data that I put in here. I'm using the custom drag function that you buy separately for this particular piece of software. And the drag function is for the bullet I will be using. You could buy it off the Play Store for like $2. So that tells me that I could do it. I could definitely do it. Even with this very short barrel, I could definitely do it and be very efficient with it. Why? Well, because if I'm getting 2,440 feet per second using a 180 grain bullet, I suspect that if I go with a 190 grain bullet, I'm reloading, probably near max. I know for sure that I will be around the 2350, 2350, 2375 area. Now, the data generated by quick load is telling me that it's a little bit on the opposite side. So from quick load, I know that I'm going to be supersonic out to 1020, which goes hand in hand with what I have over here. So, and the velocity I'm going to get out of that is going to be around 2350, 2345. So I was expecting about 2350 to 2375. But by the same token, I put this data into quick load for this bullet over here, and that I was telling me that was going to be around 2380, which is very low compared to what I actually got. So there could be a chance that what I actually get empirically it's a little bit higher than the prediction here. So I'm very confident that I'll be able to stay supersonic beyond 1,000 yards. We'll see how far I can stretch it out. My load development will consist of doing 4 tests, and 2 will be tested on the same day. The first test is going to be your regular ladder test, and then after that I will compare that to my first OCW that I do at 200 yards, and then I will go back out there again and repeat that test at 600 yards, and I will go back one more time and try it at 1,000 yards. So we'll see. That really fine-tunes things and tell me exactly where I will be in terms of accuracy node. I don't expect to have a lot of accuracy nodes. Matter of fact, I already did a barrel timing on this barrel here, and I'm only able to use 1 or 2 nodes, and that's it. Most likely only 1. And for my luck, that 1 node, it's on the high side of the velocity. So exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a node that has that's going to give me the highest velocity I could get out of this thing here. But also, I'm looking for a round that's going to be very precise. So we'll see. We're striving for precision here and accuracy. And also we're going to try to get the highest velocity that we can get to at least just be on 1,000 yards. 1020, it's okay. Normally I don't really shoot out that far. It's a lot of work for me. But when I do, I try to make it very enjoyable. So we'll see. Anyways, stay tuned, guys, and thanks for watching. Any questions or concerns, just leave it down in the comments.